Yankee baseball time again. This is Bob Delaney welcoming you to another baseball game brought to you by the makers of Valentine Beer. Once again, Mel Allen, Red Barber, and Phil Rizzuto are at hand to bring you the play-by-play. Well, looks like they're all set to go down on the field, so let's us get set as the Atlantic Refining Company and your Atlantic dealer for the 26th straight year as baseball's largest continuous radio and TV sponsor brings you Yankee Baseball. This broadcast comes to you by courtesy of the Atlantic Refining Company and P. Ballantyne and Sons, in cooperation with Sports Network, by authority of the Yankees. It's intended solely for the private enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this play-by-play description without the express consent of the Yankees is prohibited. Well, hope you're all set now for the ball game with plenty of the crisp refresher Valentine Beer. See for yourself why over 5 million glasses of Valentine Beer are enjoyed every day. We're all set now for the Yankee baseball game, so let's go down and pick up the starting lineups.
Before we give you the batting order, I hope you'll order up some of that crisp refresher Valentine Beer. The batting order for the Baltimore Orioles: Dick Williams, left field; Jackie Brandt, center field; Brooks Robinson, third base; Jim Gentile, first base; Gus Triendos, catching; Ron Hansen, shortstop; Eddie Robinson in right field, Earl Robinson rather, in right field; Jerry Adair, second base, and Chuck Estrada doing the pitching. For New York, Tony Kubek, shortstop; Hector Lopez, left field; Roger Maris, right field; Mickey Mantle, center field; Yogi Berra, catching; Bill Scaron, first base; Clete Boyer, third base; Bobby Richardson, second base, and Whitey Ford doing the pitching. Whitey Ford with a record of 4-1. Chuck Estrada with a record of 2-2. Yesterday, the Indians beat the Yankees 4-3. Baltimore beat Washington 4-3. Boston beat Detroit 4-3 in 10 innings. We had a lot of 4-3 games yesterday, including 2 in the National League. Minnesota beat Kansas City 2-0. While in the National League, Los Angeles beat San Francisco 4-3. Pittsburgh beat Philadelphia 4-3. Milwaukee 9, Cincinnati 5. Chicago 1, St. Louis nothing, and Carryback won it all. But today in the American League, Chicago at Boston, early win against Ike DeLock. Win seeking his 284th Major League victory. And Roy Sievers got him off to a good start in the second inning with a home run. 1-0 Chicago, White Sox batting in the second inning. Washington at Los Angeles playing a doubleheader. Umpires are coming out. A little late, and I'll tell you why. Cleveland, Minnesota, doubleheader. No report as yet. Detroit at Kansas City, no report. In the National League, Pittsburgh won, Philadelphia batting in the first inning. Law and Green. Milwaukee at Cincinnati, Spahn and Jay in the first game. St. Louis at Chicago, Simmons and Cardwell will be the pitchers in the first game. Los Angeles, San Francisco, latest start. The umpires out at home plate. Their uniforms did not arrive until a little bit ago. In fact, about 15 minutes ago, and I very nearly didn't arrive here in time because I was there talking to them. Somehow or other, the airline mixed up the shipment. It only had to come from Boston since yesterday, but it didn't leave Boston until 12 o'clock. Fortunately, it's not such a long walk to the beach from there. And so they were rapidly getting dressed, and I suddenly looked up at the clock, and I said, I was kidding them about being late, and I looked up. I had to put it up the aisle to get here myself, but some of these same umpires were involved in a situation once. That was Bill Summers, Billy Grieve. two now retired, Larry Knapp and John Stevens, when their uniforms never did arrive. So they started the game in their civilian clothes. They borrowed some spikes and they borrowed some baseball caps. Bill Summers, because it was a home game here at Yankee Stadium, refused to wear the Yankee cap, so he got one from the opposing team. The Yankees take the field. Then the uniforms began to arrive after about the third inning. They arrived, rather. So at each inning, one umpire would leave, go in and change clothes and come back. Right now, our national anthem. Whitey Ford coming out of the dugout. And moving up toward home plate is leadoff man Dick Williams. Whitey Ford worked against Baltimore on April 21st at Baltimore and beat them 4-2. The Yankees have played Baltimore 4 games, and they've been all at Baltimore. The Yankees dropped 2 out of 3, and one wound up in a tie. Ford winning that one game 4-2 on April the 21st, beating Steve Barber. This is Whitey's 9th start. He's won 4 and lost 1. On May 9th, the Yankees lost the game he started, but Arroyo was the losing pitcher. An 8th inning uprising by the A's. And then last Sunday, he lost the ball game to the. Check that. He had a victory pretty well set, it seemed, over the Tigers, and his relief in the 9th inning was not equal to the occasion and had to go into extra innings before they won, and Coach got the win. As we get ready to move, there's been a lineup change, and we'll try to find out why. Bill, will you call and see what you can find out about it? Jim Busby's in center in place of Jackie Brandt. This was a lineup change just before the fight starts. Dick Williams, right-hand batter. The Orioles have gotten straightened out, have been playing pretty good ball. Half a game behind New York now. The Yankees 5 out. Cleveland, Minnesota tied for second, 4 out. Ford into the windup. Around comes the left arm. The pitch is in there, called strike. Larry Knapp is back to the plate. Johnny Rice at first base. Johnny Stevens at second. Harry Schwartz at third. Ford to the windup again. The pitch, fastball swung on. Little dribbler, could be trouble. Ford up for the ball, fires to first and gets in. It was too far out for Farrer to get to. Whitey went over, grabbed it, whirled, and threw him out. Been a left-hand hitter, might have been a different story. Jim Busby, the veteran, playing center field. A last-minute change in the lineup. Busby 1 for 6, hitting 167. Lopez in left, Mantle in center, Maris in right. Lum Harris coaching at third, Jimmy Adair at first. Whitey to the windup, in comes the pitch, and it is swung on, hit to the box. Whitey grabs it, throws on to Skowron, and there are 2 away. 2 up and 2 down. Now coming up is Brooks Robinson, hitting .343. I remember when we were in Baltimore a few weeks ago, Brooks was having a lot of trouble getting on track. But once he got on track, he's been highballing. He's not stopping for any place. Ford's pitch to the right-hand batter, inside, ball one. Jackie Brandt injured the back of his left hand breaking up a double play against Minnesota. Collided with Gardner, but thought he might get in. Here's the pitch, curveball over for a strike. Then decided he couldn't handle it. One ball, one strike, 2 outs. Whitey to the windup. The pitch swung on. There's a drive to deep right center. Maris digging, still going, and one-handed in right center. The side's retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of the first half, the first inning, Baltimore nothing, and New York coming to bat. I know when listening to these baseball broadcasts, you've heard that bouncy Ballantine beer jingle. The opening lines are, to be crisp, a beer must be icily light with true lager flavor. Precisely right. Catchy words. And they sound great when put to music. But the important thing about them is they make sense. After all, aren't lightness and true lager flavor the things you look for in a beer? Sure they are. But how about refreshment? Well, as the song says, lively golden, crystally clear, the crisp refresher, Ballantine beer. Yes, golden crystal clear Ballantine is the one and only crisp refresher. Your first swallow and each one to follow refreshes you like a cool dip on a summer's day. Hope that you get a chance to try Ballantine and feed your thirst. Icily light, crystally clear Ballantine beer. Now in the last of the first inning, Tony Kubek leads off, Hector Lopez on deck, and Roger Maris to follow. Chuck Estrada, fireballing right-hander, 23 years old, from San Luis Obispo, California. Beat the Yankees 4-1 April 23rd. The only run they gave up was a home run by Mantle. Beat Minnesota 13-5, lost to the Indians 6-4, and to Minnesota 10-5. The right-hander pitches to Kubek, who swings and bounces it out to second. A big hop to Jerry Adair. The throw to first in time, and there's one away. A lot of first ball hitting here in the first inning. Jerry Adair, by the way, has done the unexpected rolling Marv Breeding for his job. Breeding, who played all last year, did not get off with a real good start with that bat. And Adair went in there and he did. So he's playing second base. Hector Lopez awaits the pitch from Estrada. Here it is. High and inside, ball one. Lopez hitting 200. No score, first inning. Outfield straight away. Williams on left, Brandt in center, Earl Robinson in right. Estrada's pitch is inside the belt, ball 2-0. Estrada in 7 games has started 6, relieving 1, 1-2, lost 2. Pitched 31 2/3 innings, allowed 28 hits and 19 runs. 7 homers. The 2-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Walked 27, struck out 24. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch. It's inside, letter high, ball 3, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. The right-hander into the windup, and the 3-1 pitch is over. Strike 2, full count. The 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Lopez strikes out. 2 away, and here's Roger Maris batting .234. Raj is starting to pick up in his hitting. No score, first inning. Estrada to the windup, and the pitch is a curve fouled off upstairs, strike one. Steve Barber and Roland Sheldon figured to go in the second game. No balls, one strike. And the pitch on the way. Swung on. There's a drive to deep right field. That ball is going to be in there for a home run for Roger Maris. Roger Maris getting his 7th homer and his 3rd homer in 3 consecutive games. We had a hold up. The ball was hit hard and had to carry, but it was low. It was a liner. Earl Robinson leaped high, and we had to wait to see whether he'd grab it or not, and he didn't. Mickey Mantle up, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Maris hit him off Perry and Bell the last 2 days. In fact, it is his 4th home run since May 17th. May 17th, 19th, 20th, and 2 days. Now the pitch to Mickey is a curve inside for a ball. Mantle hitting .308. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. 1-0 New York on Roger Maris' line homer into the right field seat. A 1-1 count on Mick. 2 away. Estrada to the windup, and the pitch. It's in there for a strike, 1-2. Mantle didn't like the call. A 1-2 count. Two outs. The windup, around comes the right arm, the pitch, and Mantle swings and misses. Strike 3. Sides retired. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on. And at the end of the first inning, Yankees 1, the Orioles nothing. Elsewhere, White Sox, Red Sox 1-1, end of 2. As Pagliarone homered for the Red Sox in the second off Wynn. In the National League, Pittsburgh 2, Phils nothing, end of an inning and a half. Milwaukee nothing, Cincinnati nothing, end of an inning. St. Louis, Chicago, no score. As we go into the second inning, Jim Gentile will lead off. Gus Triandos on deck, and Ron Hansen to follow. Jim Gentile, the leading slugger in the American League right now. He has driven in 40 runs. And he, in other words, has really been hitting a blue streak. He leads the league in homers at 12 and driven in 40 runs. And this is the Orioles' 35th game, 1 a tie. Man, he's got over 100 games left. You ought to drive in a slew of runs this year. The pitch is a curve outside for a ball. He is so hot right now that they're playing him against left-hand pitchers. Usually they alternate with Dropo. Of course, Dropo was given his unconditional release to make room for Ed Hyde. Here's the delivery. Inside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. But there was a reason they had Walt around. Have that right-hand man go against the left-hand pitcher. 2 balls, no strikes. Ford to the windup, and the pitch swung on line. Richardson makes a leaping grab for the out. Jim Gentile robbed of a base hit. Bobby Richardson leaped high and to his left with the outstretched glove speared the liner to rob Gentile of a hit. Now Gus Triandos coming up. Triando's hitting .310. Takes a strike. Gentile is batting .322. And the pitch. Swung on to a high fly ball into short right. Richardson out. And Bobby calls for it and makes the catch right in front of Maris. 2 away. And here we have coming up Ron Hansen, who has had a disappointing early start, batting .222. Must be a little something to that spring training. He reported late. Bill Stafford reported late coming out of service. But Hansen still has driven in 16 runs. Ford to the windup, and the pitch swung on, bounced down to third, grabbed back to the bag by Boyer. The throw across the diamond of Skowron in time, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of an inning and a half, New York 1, Baltimore nothing.
To be crisp, a beer must be icily light. Ooh, icily light. With true lager flavor, precisely right. Ooh, precisely right. Lively golden, crystally clear. The crisp refresher. Crisp refresher. Valentine beer.
Pleasure is the purpose of the crisp refresher. Your first swallow and everyone to follow is light and crisp and golden. So pour pleasure. Pour today's Valentine.
So clap your hands, tap your feet, snap your fingers, and ask the man for Valentine, the crisp refresher, Valentine beer.
Since 1840,
America's finest.
Yogi Berra leads off in the last of the second. Skowron on deck and Boyer to follow. Berra hitting .290. Estrada to the windup, and the pitch curve inside, ball 1. The Orioles have won their last 2 games after losing 5 straight. They're 11-6 on the road, and have won 16 and lost 11 since they lost 5 of their first 6. The 1-0 pitch to Yogi. Swung on and hit in the air down the left field line. 3 men chasing it, and the ball will be caught in left field by Dick Williams. And it was a fair ball when he grabbed it. Brooks Robinson, Ron Hansen, Dick Williams went down the line. 2 went down and 1 went over. Now here's the move. Skowron batting .276. 1-0 New York, second inning. Williams in left, Brandt in center, Earl Robinson in right, playing loose straight away. Chuck Estrada to the windup, and the pitch is high, ball 1. Frank Crissetti coaching at third, Wally Moses at first. Brooks Robinson at third, Ron Hansen short, Jerry Adair at second, Jim Gentile at first, and Gus Triando's catching. The 1-0 offering on the way, curve outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Now the 2-0 offering. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Chuck Estrada, good fastball pitcher. Throws the ball at a little better than 90 miles an hour. The 2-1 pitch, inside and high, ball 3. Steve Barber in the second game, he throws one between 95 and 96 miles an hour. They'll be looking a lot of speed today. Of course, these fellas change up. They got good curves, sliders. Now the 3-1 offering to the Moose. High for ball 4, and he walks. That allows Clete Boyer to take his turn, batting .247. Bobby Richardson on deck. One nothing New York, second inning. Estrada checks the runner. The pitch to Boyer. Swung on, ground ball, hit to short. Hansen over to Adair. Adair on to Gentile, DP. Got the double play. And the side is retired. as the Orioles come up for their 40th double play of the season. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of 2 innings of play, New York 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, no one left on. The Orioles 3 up and 3 down over the first couple of innings. A reminder that tomorrow night the Orioles will be here, 8 o'clock. The Boston Red Sox come in Wednesday afternoon for the first time this season, and Thursday night, while the White Sox will be here Friday night, Saturday afternoon, the ladies' day, and a doubleheader next Sunday to wind up the current homestand. Before we go to the 3rd inning, we'll pause for station identification.
You are in tune with Quality Modern Radio, 1460 on your dial. This is WOKO, Albany, New York. WOKO time, 26 minutes past 2.
White Sox, Red Sox, 1-1 in 2.5 innings. And in the National League, Pittsburgh 2, Philadelphia nothing at the end of an inning and a half. Milwaukee nothing, Cincinnati nothing at the end of an inning and a half. St. Louis nothing, Chicago nothing at the end of an inning and a half, and the only games we have to report on at present. Earl Robinson is the batter. A 6'1", 190-pounder. Played with Spokane last year. Hitting .205. Ford into the windup and the pitch. High, ball 1. Adair on deck. Estrada to follow. Whitey again to the windup. The pitch, change-up is inside the knees. Ball 2, 2-0. Threw him a breaking pitch for his change-up. Now the 2-0 pitch. Fastball hit foul off first base, out of play. Strike 1, 2-1. Ball landing in the lower stands. Whitey was delighted as we arrived by plane from Cleveland yesterday. His family met him. His 2 sons in baseball uniform. The older of the 2 had played in Little League action. Found out they played 2 games and split even. 2 balls, 1 strike. Forward to the windup and the pitch. Curve high, ball 3, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. The 3-1 offering on the way. It's low, ball 4, and Earl Robinson becomes the first Oriole to reach base. Opens the 3rd with a walk. And here's Jerry Adair, batting .282. 22 from 78. 4 homers, 10 runs batted in. Jerry Adair, a 6'1", 175-pounder, 25 years old. 24, will be 25 in December. From Tulsa, Oklahoma. Miami mostly last year. Right-hand hitter. Ford's pitch. Misses, ball 1. 0-1. 1-0. Ford set, and the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. Strike 1, 1-1. New York 1, Baltimore nothing. 3rd inning. Paul Richards over at the corner of the Oriole dugout. Just checked the wind, blowing out toward left. Going from right in and out toward left. Up high. Robinson leads off first. Ford pitches. And it's swung on. There's a fly ball out into right center. Mantle drifts over, under it, waiting, and takes it. 1 down, and now here's Chuck Estrada coming up. He's at 1 for 14. Dick Williams on deck. Estrada, a rookie last year, made the All-Star squad and won 18 victories, the most of any Oriole pitcher last season. Whitey ready. And the pitch. Swung on. It's driven down the right field line. There's Maris breaking over and making the catch. Estrada crossed him up and swung and hit a liner down the right field line. Maris shading to the line, figuring he wouldn't pull Whitey. Had to break quickly and angled backwards to take the ball. 2 down, and here now is Dick Williams. Tapped out in the first inning to the box. Incidentally, any time that Richards wants to rest Gentile, he can play Dick Williams at first base. Williams, very versatile performer. Yankees had a hankering for him earlier this season. Whitey Ford ready, and the pitch to the right-hand batter is low outside, ball 1. You may have read about it, but then the Yankees figured, well, it's another trade in Kansas City. It's all right, though. Baltimore made it. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch. Swung on. Hit between first and second to right field for a base hit. Robinson turns second and holds up as Maris fires in. Cut off by Kubek. Dick Williams singles to right. This is the second time that Williams has been with Baltimore. He was with them, traded away, and brought back again. Jim Busby, who hits the box in the first inning, comes up. Williams came up with the Dodgers in '52. Went to Baltimore in '56, to Cleveland in '57, back to Baltimore in '58. Kansas City, and back to Baltimore. Jim Busby, 2 on, 2 out. The pitch, swung on, hit foul, out of play, back to first, the upper deck, strike 1. Yankees 1, Orioles nothing. It's the 3rd inning. Night game tomorrow night for the Orioles. Earl Robinson moves off second. Dick Williams off first. Ford into the stretch. And a pickoff, bluff of a pickoff throw. He didn't throw. 0-1 the count. Now the stretch by Whitey. And the pitch. Inside, ball 1. He fired one in tight, but he didn't get the inside corner as he'd hoped. A 1-1 count on Busby. He wanted to get that second strike. The veteran Jim Busby hits the ball to all fields. Chokes up on that bat. He just wants to get a piece of it. Runners lead away. Whitey delivers, and the ball is swung on and hit into right center for a base hit. Maris bends on the hop, throws toward third, cut off. Scoring is Robinson. On the third went Williams. Ball game tied up at 1-1. So the base on balls came home to roost as Busby lines a single to right center, sending Williams to third and bringing up Brooks Robinson, who flied to right center in the first inning, batting .343. Jim Busby driving in his first run of the season with his second hit. Runners leading away from first and third. And the pitch swung on. There's a high fly ball to deep right center. Maris is under it and makes the catch, and the side's retired. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on at the end of 2.5 innings. Baltimore 1, New York 1. 1-1 make 2. And the 2 things you want in a beer are lightness and true lager flavor. And that's what you get in Ballantine. Yes, sir. To really refresh you, a beer must offer lightness plus flavor. You make the 1 + 1 + 1 sign, the 3-ring sign, and ask the man for Ballantine. Your first swallow and everyone to follow tells you Ballantine is the light beer with true lager flavor. When you drop by your tavern, hope you'll try some Ballantine beer. The month of May is National Tavern Month. So, make an extra visit. Say hello to the boss and the man behind the stick. They're real nice guys. They're in business to earn a living, of course, but nonetheless, it is a fact that these fellows kind of listen to your problems, offer a little advice. Occasionally, if you're a real regular customer, they'll buy one now and then. So Ballantine takes this opportunity to salute a place of friendship and good cheer. Your neighborhood tavern. Bobby Richardson leads off in the last of the third. Hitting .221. Chuckaluck Estrada into the windup and the pitch. Misses the outside corner, ball 1. Fastball's his stock and trade. He's got a good curve and changeup. As they say, to confound and confuse the hitters. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-all, third inning. The right-hander flips and Richardson takes it outside. Ball 2, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Estrada again to the windup. Here's the pitch, and it's over. Strike 1, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, it's a high fly ball in the deep right center. Busby races over under it and makes the catch. 1 away. Bobby's having a rough time getting his hit now. Now Whitey Ford comes up. 3 for 17, 176. Outfield shortens up straight away. And the pitch outside, ball 1. The wind is blowing at a real good pace from right out to left. I don't know whether we can get from the studio the actual wind velocity. The 1-0 pitch high outside, ball 2. I mean, it's enough to be a factor on things hit high. The 2-0 pitch in there, strike 1, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch swung on and foul back out of play. Two. 1-1 the score, last of the third. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Curve is over, called strike 3. Whitey Ford looks at the curveball. Third strikeout for Estrada. And with 2 down, here's Tony Kubek. Grounded to second in the first inning. Gus Triandos goes out to the mound to talk to Estrada. Probably talking over with him which of his pitches are working best and how to mix up the patterns. Sometimes one pitch is not working too well for you, so you concentrate on the other. The delivery to Tony Kubek. High, ball one. And the pitch. High, ball two. We've gotten word the wind is blowing 8 miles an hour, but it looks to me like it's blowing more than 8 here because those flags are straight out and whipping. I don't know how many miles an hour a wind would have to blow to make the flag, stand up and whip. 2-0 pitch is swung on, hit between first and second to right field for a base hit. Earl Robinson throws back in. And Kubek collects the second hit off Estrada. Now Hector Lopez, whom Ralph Houk is hoping will soon snap out of his hitting doldrums, batting 200. Gave him a couple days rest. To use the National Tavern Month expression, I'll make book those flags whipping more than 8 miles an hour. Now the delivery. Swung on and missed. Strike one. No balls, 1 strike. 2 away. Estrada checks the runner. There he goes. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw down is in. Gets away from Hansen into center, and Kubek gets up and goes on to third. That ball hits Hansen's glove as if it curved on him and bounced off and into center. So we'll wait the decision of the rulers, the ruling fathers in the scoring department, only to make it official. The throw looked good. I mean, it wasn't a wild throw. Hansen seemed to, his spike seemed to catch or something. He sort of leaned to his left. But he's charged with the error. An error charge to Ron Hansen. An assist for Triandos. The pitch is high and inside to Lopez. Ball one, 1-2. It's an assist for Triandos and an error charge to Hansen. No stolen base. Throw had the runner beaten. 2 outs. We'll see whether it's of any import or not. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 all. Last to the third. Estrada's pitch swung on, lined into center for a base hit. Scoring Kubek, and it's 2-1 New York. So it was of importance as Hector Lopez rifled his liner to center, driving in his 9th run of the season and bringing up Roger Maris, who homered in the first inning. His 4th in 4 games. 7 the season. 2 outs, 1 on. 2-1 New York. And the pitch. It's inside, ball 1. Estrada again sets. And the pitch. Curve over. Strike 1, 1-1. There's got to be more than 8 miles an hour blowing in from right to left. Those flags are whipping. As the Weather Bureau in Central, maybe the flags in Central Park are just blowing 8 miles an hour. But they picked up some velocity from down there up to here. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit off Gentile's knee. He picks the ball up, throws to first base. Too late. And Maris is there. Scores a base hit for Rod. A hard shot off the knee of Gentile. With 2 outs, up comes Mantle. Struck out in the first inning. Batting .308. Two on, 2 out, 1 in, 2-1 New York, third inning. Gentile shaking his leg, but that ball hit him on the knee. Estrada into the stretch, 2 away. Pitch to Mantle, outside, ball 1. Keeping that ball away from him. The right-hander to the stretch. Runners lead away from first and second. 2 outs. And the pitch. Way outside and high. Ball 2. 2-0. Tried a curve, but it slipped. Two balls, no strikes. Lopez leads off second. Maris off first. Estrada to the stretch. And the pitch. High, ball 3. 3-0. Mick's taking a look at Crissetti to see if Ralph will have him swinging 3-0. If he wants to. And the 3-0 pitch. It's high, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Lopez moves to third, Maris to second, Mantle to first, and up comes Yogi Berra. Hitting .290 when the game began. He flied to left field in the second inning. 3 on and 2 out. Now Estrada calls Triandos out. Situation like that, they gamble against, if you want to look at the worst thing that could happen to a pitcher, he's only gambling with 1 run. They want to give Mantle much to hit at. And they figure his home run potential is greater than Berra's, percentage-wise. And so he's gambling only with 1 run, at most. In the meantime, taking the percentage in his favor. 2 outs. 3 on, 1 in, 2-1 New York. The windup, the pitch. Yogi takes it outside, ball 1. Started him off with a curve. Outside. Three men lead away, the windup and the pitch. It's low, ball 2, 2-0. Lopez is on third. Maris is on second. Mantle on first. Two 2-0 count on Berra. Now a big pitch. Yogi will be gunning for it. Estrada to the windup and the pitch. And it is swung on, and a fly ball is hit into left center. Williams is under it, makes the catch, and the side's retired. Yogi went for a high pitch. 1 run. 3 hits. No errors, and 3 men left on. At the end of 3 innings of play, New York 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 3 left on. Baltimore 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on. Oh, there's a lot of excitement for 1 run. When you can't get out to the ballpark, your neighborhood tavern serves as a perfect place to watch the game and enjoy the crisp refresher, too. Visit your neighborhood tavern during National Tavern Month. Tony Martin, who was kind enough to attend our Old Timers Day last year for free after he finishes his Waldorf engagement, will play Decoration Day weekend at the Concord Hotel, Kiamisha Lake, New York, where the 3rd annual Tony Martin Hole-in-One golf tournament will take place for President Kennedy's People-to-People sports program. And speaking of people-to-people, Phil Rizzuto is about to walk in. Let me tell you quickly, Chicago-Boston 1 all into 4. And in the National League, Philadelphia got 9 runs in the 3rd inning. Go ahead to Pittsburgh 9-2 end of 3. Cincinnati 1, Milwaukee nothing end of 3. Cubs 1, Cards nothing end of 2.5. We'll be talking to you. And the
first pitch to Gentile is a curve low outside, ball 1. Of course, Joe gets most of his base hits on bad pitches, though. That's what people forget about. Jim Gentile lined out to Bobby Richardson. Bobby making a nice leaping catch of his line drive. It's a high fly to right center field. Roger Maris and Mantle over. Mantle coming in now, way in, and makes the catch. Man, that wind is blowing from right field over to left field. And Mickey had to come in about 30 feet at the last second to get that high towering fly by Jim Gentile. Flags are blowing straight out on the flagpole in center and on top of the roof here at Yankee Stadium. Brings up Gus Triandos, who popped up to second base in the 2nd inning. Yankees lead 2-1. We're in the top of the 4th. Whitey's pitch, the curve line to left field. Lopez is coming in. He can't get it. Drops in front of him. And Triandos is on with a line single to left field. Hit number 3 off Whitey Ford. Brings up the shortstop, Ron Hansen, who bounced to 3rd in the 2nd inning. The run the Yankees scored in the bottom of the 3rd is unearned because of Hansen's error on Kubek's attempted steal, but they all count. Fastball low inside, ball 1. Scarron holding first against Triandos. Stretched by Whitey. Curve is low, ball 2, 2-0. About 99 chances to 1, the threat of Triandos attempting to steal second. Of course, there's always a possibility of a hit-and-run play to keep out of the possible double play. The big Gus has never been able to run real good. Of course, with his power, most times you don't have to run hard when you hit the ball. 2 balls, no strikes on Ron Hansen. Whitey checks the sign from Yogi. Here's a stretch. Pitch is in there, strike 1 call. Ball popped out of Yogi's glove, but not far enough to allow Gus to advance. 2-1 the count. Still plenty of time for you fans to get out here for this first game and the big second game, which will follow here at Yankee Stadium. Curve is foul just for Lloyd, and the count's even at 2-2. On deck is Earl Robinson. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Triandos with a very short lead off first. Fastball swung and missed, strike 3. Got him on a low pitch down around the knees. First strikeout for Whitey in the ball game, and it brings up Earl Robinson, who walked and eventually came around to score in the third inning. Scored on a single by Dick Williams and then a single by Busby. Right-hand hitter. 2 outs. 2-1 the Yankees lead. Top of the 4th. Fastball is low. Ball 1. Whitey sets. His pitch is low. Gets away from Yogi. There goes Gus down to second. And he's going to make it. And let's see what they call that. A pass ball charged to Yogi Berra. Allowing Triandos to go to second base. So now the Birds have the tying run at second base with 2 outs and a count of 2 balls, no strikes on Earl Robinson, the right-hand hitting right fielder. Whitey shakes off one sign. Now he's ready. Stretches. His pitch is fouled in back of the plate. And it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Yankees hoping to get on winning ways here today against Baltimore. They've lost 4 in a row and 9 out of their last 12. Ready now for the 2-1 delivery. Here it is, and it swung and it missed. Strike 2 as Whitey took a little bit off his curveball. Had Robinson way out in front. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Whitey sets. Pitch is high, ball 3, and it's a full count, 3-2. On deck, Jerry Adair, the second baseman. Now the payoff pitch to Earl Robinson. Low, ball 4. He walked Robinson for the second time, trying to curve him on a 3-2 pitch, and that's only the second walk given up by Whitey. Brings up Jerry Adair, who flied to center field in the third inning. Tall right-hand hitter. Played shortstop through most of his professional career. Saw this youngster play winter ball down in Puerto Rico, where he had a fine season. Paul Richards is trying him at second base. So now the Birds have runners at first and second with 2 out. The Yankees leading 2-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Quite a bit of paper blowing around on the infield and outfield with the wind that's whipping up here today at the stadium. Triandos at second, Robinson at first. Here's the stretch. Curve is fouled back on the screen. 1 strike. Whitey rubs up the new ball. Yankee outfield straight away. Mantle not too deep in center. Hector Lopez deep in left. Maris fairly shallow in right field. Here's the stretch by Whitey. His pitch is fouled back in the upper deck. 0-2. Marv Breeding, who was a regular second baseman for Baltimore last year and who had a fine year, not playing today. Jerry Adair has been outplaying him so far this season. That's why Breeding's riding the pine. All right, now ready for the 2-strike delivery. A fly ball at straightaway center field. Mickey Mantle drifting back under it and makes the catch. That ball was hit right on the nose as he golfed the low fastball. For Baltimore in the top of the fourth, no runs, 1 hit, no Yankee errors, 2 men left, and the score at the end of 3.5 innings, New York 2 and Baltimore 1.
Oh, dub-dub-dee-dub-dee-I-do. Oh, what a golfer is Joe. With a wild looping hook, he drives into a brook, and that's how his game always goes. It goes. That's how his game always goes. But some consolation is near in a cool glass of Valentine beer. Yes, back at the club, he forgets he's a dub. So sunny and mellow, it glows, it glows. So sunny and mellow, he knows to be crisp. A beer must be icily light, with true lager flavor, precisely right. Lively golden, crystally clear, crisp refresher, Valentine beer.
People know quality when they taste it, and that's why over 5 million glasses of Valentine beer are enjoyed every day. Valentine, America's finest since 1840. And right now we'll pause for station identification.
You are in tune with Quality Modern Radio, 1460 on your dial. This is WOKO, Albany, New York. WOKO time, 6 minutes past 3.
For the Yankees in the bottom of the fourth, it'll be Bill Skowron, Clete Boyer, and Bobby Richardson to face Chuck Estrada. Skowron walked in the second inning. Yankees 2, Baltimore 1. Estrada's first pitch to Skowron is a foul back on the screen. Strike 1. Moose was telling us on the plane ride back from Cleveland yesterday. He had so many good pitches to hit during the Cleveland series. And he just hasn't been able to get the good wood on the ball. You can tell when Moose gets a good pitch and doesn't get a hold of it. He walks out of the box and puts his hands on his hips. The 1-strike pitch, changeup hit high in the air and back of first base. Jerry Adair is drifting back to second baseman under it and makes the catch. Skowron pops out to second base. 1 away. Here's Clete Boyer, who bounced into a double play in the second inning. On deck, Bobby Richardson. Pitch to Boyer, high inside, ball 1. Paul Richards was saying before the game that Estrada has a tender right arm. He's not throwing like it's tender, I'll tell you that. The 1-0 pitch is pop foul back in the upper deck out of play. One and one on Boyer. Joe DiMaggio, a guest of the Yankees here today, sitting in Dan Topping's box. 1-1 pitch, changeup hit on the ground at third. Brooks Robinson knocks it down, picks it up. No, he can't handle it. A hard hit ground ball that Robinson knocked down, went to pick up, and as he started to throw, dropped it again. It's an error charged to Brooks Robinson. And very few times you see Robinson boot a ball, no matter how hard it's hit. But he got that in between hops. And Boyer is on. Here's Bobby Richardson, fly to center field in the third inning. 2 errors in the ball game, both by the left side of the Baltimore infield. Gentile holds first against Boyer. Here's the stretch. There goes Boyer. The pitch is hit right back to the pitcher. An easy double play as Richardson, no, he didn't hit. He hit it on 1 hop. It looked like Estrada caught the ball on a fly as Estrada tripped over the mound. Boyer, who was going easily, slid in a second, and Bobby is out. From here, it looked like he hit a little soft liner back to the box. But it took 1 hop in front of the plate that we couldn't see. Right to Estrada. They had the hit-and-run play on. Brings up Whitey Ford with Boyer at second and 2 outs. Whitey was called out on strikes in the third inning. The right-handed pitch is a ground ball up the middle and through a base hit to center field. Here comes Boyer around third. Busby's throw is cut. No, not cut off, but Triandos picks it up. And the Yankees lead 3-1. So the two errors have been costly for Baltimore today as the Yankees took advantage of both boots to score a run. Whitey Ford driving in a run with a single up the middle, driving in Clete Boyer, the fifth hitter for Estrada, and the Yankees lead 3-1. For Whitey, his fourth run batted in on the year and his fourth base hit of the year. Brings up Tony Kubek, bounced to second, single to right, and scored when, in attempting to steal second, Hansen dropped Triandis' throw, allowing Kubek to go to third. Scored on Lopez's single. Pitch to Kubek. The changeup is in there. Strike one call. Kubek wants plate umpire Larry Knapp to take a look at the ball. And Larry finds it okay and flips it back to Estrada. Whitey Ford with his jacket on at first base. The stretch and the pitch is hit down the left field line and curves foul at the last second. Deep in the left field corner. Man, that ball just missed hitting the foul pole. A long strike on Kubek, nothing in two. Whitey walking slowly back across the diamond at first base. Wes Stocks, a right-hander loosening up in the Orioles bullpen. This run also will be an unearned run. Hyde ready now for the two-strike pitch to Kubek. Curve, line to right center field, in there for a base hit. Earl Robinson over, up with the ball. Whitey Ford's going to third base, and Kubek makes the turn and holds on. A line single to right center field by Tony Kubek. Hit number 6 off Estrada. Now the Yankees have runners at first and third with 2 outs. And Hector Lopez the batter. Hector struck out in the first inning. Single to center to drive in Kubek in the third. Lopez now with 9 RBI. 3-1, the Yankees are leading. Pitch is a ground ball to the shortstop. Hansen up with it. Flips to Adair covering to force Kubek. For the Yankees in the bottom of the fourth, 1 run on 2 base hits. 1 Baltimore error, 2 men left. And the score at the end of 4 full innings, the Yankees 3 runs, 6 hits, no error. Baltimore 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 errors.
Now this is Bob Delaney, and we're on the go again with the rest of this ball game brought to you by the Atlantic Refining Company and your Atlantic dealer, who offer you Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor and keeps it clean.
With the Yankees leading 3-1, we'll wait and see if Estrada, who is scheduled to hit first, will. Paul Richards has had Wes Stock down on the both ends for Baltimore. Whitey is just getting out to the mound. Remember, he was at third base when the last out was made. Went back to the dugout, hung up his jacket, used the towel for a moment. Now the little left-hander who is going for his 5th win. He's 4-1. Begins lobbing the ball down to Berra. First base is Skowron. Second baseman is Richardson. Shortstop is Kubek. Third baseman Boyer. And Estrada is going to hit. Moved up there now by the plate. Lopez is in left field. The center fielder is Mantle, and the right fielder is Roger Maris. Jimmy Adair coaching at first. We've got a couple of name duplications on the Baltimore squad. There's Jimmy Adair, the first base coach, and the young second baseman is Gary Adair. Then there's third baseman Brooks Robinson and right fielder Earl Robinson. Estrada has 1 hit this year. In the third inning, he lined out to right fielder Maris. This is the start of a tremendous week. after this doubleheader, a night game with the Orioles tomorrow evening. Tuesday's open, then the Red Sox are here Wednesday afternoon and Thursday night. First pitch, curveball over for the strike, hand high. And after the two with the Red Sox, the White Sox come boiling in. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, which is latest day, and a doubleheader Sunday, weeks from today. Full curve low inside to the batter's feet. Right-hand hitter, Estrada. 1 ball, 1 strike. Estrada's a freshman last year, won 18. Throws the ball hard, but his manager told us before the game today he's had a tender arm this year. Swing, hits it on one sharp bounce right back to Whitey, who finds the ball was stuck in the webbing of his glove. He had to look a second time to find it. Then he throws over to Skowron, plenty of time. That's what the fans oohed about. Whitey had the ball in the glove, but then was still looking for it. And here is Dick Williams, a very handy fellow to have on your ball cloud. Singled his last trip. Baltimore was busy making its 1 run. Williams plays third base, first base, for the outfield. Swings to the ground ball, too short. Two back up with it. They throw over to first in time. We have 2 quick ones. 2 down, nobody on. And here is Jim Busby, who singled with 2 out following Williams hit in the 3rd inning, and that scored Robinson, who had gotten on with a walk. Busby, during the spring at the start of the season, was listed as a coach. After the season got underway, they reinstated him on the active list. Whitey's sharp curve is over. Ball strike. The right and left fielders are straight away, and Mantle is giving Busby left center. Mickey's moved pretty well over toward right center. Busby swings and bounce ball to short. 2 big bills, 2 back over to Skowron, and Busby who can run is out by 4 strides. So 1-2-3. Whitey had him hitting it in the dirt. And the score in the first game, which is now official, the Yankees 3 and the Orioles 1.
You know, even though the calendar tells us spring is officially here, winter can still be hanging on in the dirt-filled oil lubricating your car's engine. That's why now is the time to remember engines need spring cleaning too. So get rid of winter-weary motor oil that can no longer protect your engine. Stop at your Atlantic dealers for a change to the oil that comes in the bright gold can. High detergent, Atlantic Premium Motor Oil. And have them install a clean new oil filter. Then you'll be sure your engine is properly lubricated, free from dirt, and ready for the new driving season. See your Atlantic dealer soon for a new oil filter and a change to Atlantic Premium Motor Oil in the bright gold can. It's the high detergent motor oil that spring cleans your engine and keeps your car on the go.
Last half of the 5th coming up. It'll be Maris, who has a home run and a single. Mantle and then Berra. Estrada getting ready as they throw through down to second base in the catcher. Phil has already reported that Joe DiMaggio is here today. We have 3 generations of Adams here today. Bob Fischel just called over to say that Colonel Hank Adams, who is the athletic director up at West Point, is here. And his father, retired General Adams, is here. And then the Colonel's young son. Maris takes a curve low inside, down to the kneecap. Ball 1. Roger has hit a home run in each of his last 4 games. Went into the ball game at 2:34, and he helped himself with the home run and the single. The single was he handcuffed the first baseman with it. Swings, and there's a high foul out of play, back into the 3rd deck. 1 ball, 1 strike. Frank Zazzetti coaching at 3rd. Wally Moses coaching at 1st. The Yankee pitching coach, Johnny Stain, is in the dugout, and the bullpen coach, Jim Hegan, is down in the bullpen. Estrada, who is a graceful pitcher to watch, smooth motion, delivers, misses with a fastball just outside ball 2. 2-1. When his arm is completely sound, he can breeze that ball just about with anybody. Particularly, not so much for one pitch, but over the 9 innings. Change of pace. Just outside ball 3. Pull the string and miss. Right-handed deal. Then Maris hits a high fly into short right center, and Robinson comes on and makes the catch. Right fielder. I think he got that one pretty well down on the handle. And here is Mantle. Mickey struck out in the first inning. Saw nothing to swing at and walked in the third. Hitting 306. Curve is bunted right back to the mound. The pitcher takes it, goes to first, and Mantle is easily out. Running for a base hit, of course. But instead of dragging it or pulling it with him, hit it straight back to the middle. Now we have Berra, who on each of his 2 trips has hit fly balls to left fielder Williams. Williams stays fairly straight away in left. Center and the right fielder is moving over toward right, opening up a gap in left center. Right side of the infield deep. Pitch just outside, ball 1. We have a strong wind today, which is blowing from right field to left. And the ball that is hit high is visibly moved by it. Pitch is in there for the strike. 1-1. Yankees leading 3-1, taking advantage of 2 Baltimore errors. Change of pace is outside, ball 2. Maris hit a home run in the first inning. In the third, when Kubek went down on a hit-and-run play and Lopez swung and missed at the plate, the throw had Kubek beaten at second, but the throw got off the shortstop's glove. And let Tony not only live, but go on to third, and he was scored on a base hit by Lopez. It was run 2. Berra swings the ground ball to the second baseman. Adair over to Gentile, and that is all for Yogi. The third Yankee run, Boyer got on to an error at third and was promptly scored with 2 out on a base hit by Ford. Totals into 4. The Yankees 3 runs, 6 hits and no errors. The Orioles 1 run, 3 hits and 2 errors. The correction, end of 5 innings. End of 5 innings. 3-1 favor New York. Now let's check some of these other ball games. The end of 5.5. First game up at Boston. It is the White Sox with their veteran right-hander Wynn 2, and the Red Sox 1. They started D-Lock and Salad rotation in the 5th. Steve with a home run and Pagliaroni a home run for Boston. Wynn, if he should notch this one, it would be number 289 for him. That's what he's after. Washington plays 2 out on the coast at L.A. Cleveland has just started out at Minnesota. The Indians are tied with the Twins in position in the lead. End of half inning, Cleveland 1. Hawkins for Cleveland and Ramos for Minnesota. The start of a doubleheader. First place Tigers out of Kansas City has been delayed because of rain. In the National League, at the end of 3 innings of a single, Philadelphia 9. They got them all in the third, and Pittsburgh 2. End of 4 innings, first game, Cincinnati 4 and Milwaukee 2. First game, St. Louis at Chicago, end of 4 is tied 2-2. Single, Los Angeles. Now here's Brooks Robinson, first up in the 6th. Takes the pitch in for a strike. 0-1. Fellow's hitting 340. He's 0 for 2. Swings, there is a ground ball hit to short. Kubek is up with it, over to Schauer, and Brooks is out. 1-1 away in the 6th. Yankees leading in this first game 3-1. And now here is Gentile, who has been nothing less than sensational. Got 12 home runs, 40 runs batted in. He's gone in the record books already by hitting grand slam home runs on successive at-bats. Knocked in all told 9 runs in that game. Pitches on the outside, ball 1. The record for RBIs is 12 in a ball game. Sonny Jim Bottomley did that years ago when he was playing with the Cardinals over at Ebbets Field. 3-1 New York. Gentile cuts and misses. Whitey had a change off of his fastball high. 1-1. Gentile takes a ripple. He's playing with a bad leg. He missed 4 games this week because of the leg, and the Orioles lost all 4 of them. Well, he got him back in there. One pitch swung on. There's a high drive deep out the middle in right center. Mickey waiting under it. That's the catch. 2 down, and Gentile is 0 for 3 today. Now we have Big Gus Triandos, right-hand hitting catcher. Single his last trip. He's 1 for 2. Luman Harris pushing at third. Jimmy Adair down at first. Outfield is back. Shaded toward left. Triandos really plants himself. He's a big man. Swings at a fastball. Under the shoulders on the outside portion of the plate. Strike 1. Whitey is faster at times than most people think he is. Work. Swung on. There's a 1 bounce to the short. 2 back takes it. Plenty of time to throw out Triandos. Where he might put it halfway down the line. But Yogi makes his squawks in such good nature that they pass. And in the third game, end of 5.5, it remains the Yankees 3 and the Orioles 1.
You know, it takes a little more than a can of wax, some clean rags, and elbow grease to get your car ready for spring. To really enjoy the new driving season, remember your engine needs spring cleaning too. You see, winter stop-and-go driving can overwork the motor oil and oil filter that protect your engine. The oil filter becomes clogged, and the oil itself is often saturated with winter dirt. That's why now, at the beginning of the new driving season, it makes sense to drain out dirty oil and replace it with high-detergent Atlantic Premium Motor Oil. Remember, engines need spring cleaning too, so stop at your Atlantic dealer soon for a new oil filter and a change to the oil in the bright gold can. Atlantic Premium Motor Oil to keep your car on the go.
Well, we're getting set to go for the last half of the 6th inning. Sharon is up there, and Estrada is ready to confront him. Fastball is high inside, ball 1. The Moose walked in the 2nd inning and then popped the second base for 4. Been having a little trouble with his base hits of late. Pitch is swung on. There's a high foul deep into the stands back at first, and this gives it time to pause for station identification.
This is Quality Modern Radio, 1460 on your dial, WOKO, Albany, New York. WOKO time, 28 minutes to 4.
Back in time, Estrada, new ball. It's a different ball, another ball. Pitching 1-1. Curve low outside, ball 2. You folks who may be just learning about baseball, a brand new baseball never gets into a major league game because the umpires rub them up with special mud and water before the ball game to take the new gloss off of them. Sharon hits a high foul out of play, deep back to first, strike 2. And the idea for rubbing them up is so that the ball, brand new ball that's never been rubbed, is a very dangerous thing because it is liable to fail. It could be very dangerous to a hitter. And also a pitcher cannot hold the ball as well with a gloss on it. He can hold it much better when it has been properly rubbed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Right-hander started, delivers, and Skowron strikes out. He buzzed the fastball right off of his hand. The Moose walking over to the dugout. I wonder if you remember what Disley told him. Diz was visiting with him about his current little slump before the game, and he says, now, Moose, he said that maybe the best way to get out of a batting slump is laugh your way out. Don't go back in that dugout with tears. Go back in there grinning. But I couldn't see any smile right then. These base hits are very serious things to Mr. Skowron. In fact, it's a worrying season for him. Here's Boyer, who is 0 for 2. Swings and misses at the fastball. Strike 1. When the Moose is hitting, he is worrying when he'll stop hitting. And then when he is not hitting, of course, it's obvious he's worrying. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 down. Curve in the dirt, low outside, ball 1. Weststock was up 2 innings ago in the bullpen for Baltimore, and now Dick Hyde is up. The fellow that throws underhand that used to be with Washington. He's just been brought back up in the International League for Baltimore. Pitch is in there, sharp curve for strike 2. Big Walter Dropo was released by the Orioles to make room for Hyde. The Yankees made a change yesterday. Duke Marks being sent out to Richmond, and outfielder Jack Reed recalled, and he is here, took batting practice today. Curve low outside, ball 2. 2-2. Boyer banged into a double play in the 2nd inning, and then got on when third baseman Robinson simply couldn't pick up ground ball in the 4th. He came around on an infield out by Richardson and a single by Ford. Orioles have made 2 errors, and the Yankees have picked up 2 runs thereby. There's a line drive base hit into left field down in the corner. And there's Boyer on his way for second. Moses has sent him. The throw from Williams comes into third, and it's a double for Boyer. Line double to left. This is hit number 7 for the Yankees. And now here is Richardson. Fly ball to center fielder Busby in the 3rd, who was the last-minute starter. Jackie Brandt, who has the highest batting percentage on the Orioles, took a bad hand and at the last moment couldn't go. And then on a hit-and-run play, Richardson hit a ball on a sharp bounce back to the mound and got Boyer over to second base. They had started the runner. 1 down, runner at second. High inside curve, ball 1. Pizzetti hollering down to Boyer to remind him only 1 out. And if it's a ground ball hit ahead of you, don't come over. After a straightaway on Bobby. Who hits a high foul over by the Yankee dugout. Let's see, Triando's coming over, and he can't quite get it. The ball dropping in the Yankee dugout, hitting the 2nd step. And Triandos, had he gone any more, would have taken quite a fall. Estrada comes set, runner at second, deals, change of pace, and has a high foul ball alongside third, close to the fence. Robinson goes over, leans in, and he can't quite get it. 1-2. Larry Knapp is plate umpire. John Rice at first. John Stevens at second. And Harry Schwartz, first-year umpire in the league, is on the line back at third. 1-2. Started pitch. Fastball outside. Ball 2. Let's see. Knapp is walking out to the mound. He's saying something to Estrada, I think. Second. Let's see. Here's Paul Richards. in the ball coming out of the Baltimore dugout. Estrada has had a tender arm. Now, Richards may be coming out to ask him. It looked as though Estrada winced on that last pitch. He certainly had an extra arm motion about it. But the manager's job is to not let a player hurt himself, especially a pitcher, no matter what the pitcher may feel. And let's see, they're going to let him throw a couple of pitches to, I think Trianos is kneeling back of the plate. They've gotten permission for him to try a couple of pitches. These, of course, are unofficial. He did hurt his arm, apparently, on that last pitch. See there, he's trying a second pitch. Well, he says okay, and Richards says okay. And I do not believe this counts as one of the, as the one time a manager can go out and talk to the pitcher. So that's what Knapp was looking back in the dugout. Richards must have asked him, can I come out because of his arm? Knapp says yes. The 2-2 pitch is swung on, a ground ball to the second baseman. Adair up with it, goes to first to Gentile. Richardson is out. And Boyer, with the ball hit behind him, moves over to third. Now we have Whitey Ford, who was 2 men out. Ford Boyer with the Yankees' third run in the fourth inning. That was Whitey's 4th hit this year. He has as many hits as he has games won. And right now, he's trying to go for 5s on both counts. He's a tough little man up there with that bat. Boyer ready to move on anything. 2 down is the runner at third. Estrada works. Fastball over the inside for a called strike. There's nothing the matter with his arm then. Nothing in 1. Pitch. Curve swung on and missed. And White was really crossed up. He started to swing, tried to check, and he almost wound up breaking his wrist. Curve ball is something. I remember something Bert Shotton used to say when he was managing in Brooklyn. 2-strike pitch, curve low inside, ball 1. Shotton says, when that fella invented the curve ball, he took a lot of the joy out of the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think the man that they credit with throwing the first curve was Candy Cummings. Fastball high outside, ball 2. 2-2. Outfield is not deep on Whitey. Laid back into left. Infield with 2 outs. Normal depth. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball way wide. Ball 3. Now, Estrada has run out the string with Whitey. Three-two count. Kubek waiting on deck has had hits his last 2 times. Estrada, sophomore right-hander, pitches, and Whitey swinging, fouls it back. Pitch was in there. Still 3-2. Tall young right-hander in his second year in organized ball, Roland Sheldon, draws the starting assignment for the second game idea. His opponent will be the left-hander, sophomore Steve Barber. 3-2 pitch, swung on. There's a high fly that Busby is under in center field. Waiting, and he takes it. That's it. It's all for the beard. Warriors double was not cashed. No runs, 1 hit. 6-inning totals, first game, 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 errors for the Orioles. The difference has been the Yankees' ability to hit behind two Baltimore infield errors. Runs 2 and 3 are unearned. Bob Shepard over the PA, who does such an able job in that department out here at the big ballpark, telling the big crowd, which I'm sure is the biggest of the year. I think it's bigger than last Sunday. Of course, you can get fooled looking at the triple-deck stadium. Lets you move up and down where you can see all 3 levels distinctly. About the big games coming up this next week. The Orioles, who be in here tomorrow night. Strong ball club, very attractive ball club. Then the Red Sox always find attraction here. The New Englanders will be down here Wednesday afternoon, Thursday night. And, of course, the Chicago White Sox with their talent. They'll be in here Friday night, Saturday afternoon, which is Ladies' Day, and a doubleheader Sunday, week from today. 3-1, favor the Yankees. Speaking of the White Sox, they are holding their 2-1 lead at the end of 6 innings, first game up at Boston. At the end of an inning, first game, Cleveland is leading at. And here is shortstop Ron Hansen, who is 0 for 2. He's a real playmaker. Delivers as a hot one bouncer to Kubek at short. He's up with it over the scour and for the out. So we have one down. Whitey, as is typical of his games, is getting them to hit primarily on the ground. And here is rookie Earl Robinson, who was secured during the winter from the Los Angeles organization. Takes a half swing and pops it up to short. Kubek backing out onto the left center field grass, makes the catch, and we have 2 up and 2 down. He was trying to lay off the pitch, but he has too far committed himself. Now we have Jerry Adea, freshman second baseman, who also plays shortstop, plays third. In the spring, Richard said, well, that he was going to keep Adea because he wanted to be a utility infielder. He got into second base, and Marv Breeding, who was such a fine second baseman last year, can't get back in. First pitch is a strike. Swings and hits a fly ball out to Lopez in deep left. Hector has it. At the side, 1, 2, 3. And the score at the end of 6.5 remains the Yankees 3. The Orioles 1.
You know, for many men, a good pipe is one of life's big pleasures. But as every pipe smoker knows, deposits that form in the bowl have to be removed from time to time for a pipe to draw as it should. Well, now, this is also true of the carburetor in your car. Deposits form on the inside walls under normal driving conditions. For best results, these deposits must be removed. Now, removing them can be a tough job, even for an experienced mechanic. But today, it's really very easy when you drive with Atlantic Imperial gasoline. You see, Atlantic Imperial is specially designed to clean your carburetor while you're driving. As it flows through the carburetor, it gradually dissolves and removes the hard deposits and washes them harmlessly away. Then Atlantic Imperial's protective action keeps them from forming again. Today, more and more people are using Atlantic Imperial in their cars. It's the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Light up a Winston. Now tell me, can you tell just how big a crowd is from being back here in the stands and the broadcasting booth as well as you could when you were out of short?
Oh, no. No, you of course, from out of short, you can see the empty seats way in the back underneath the stand.
Did you ever take time out of shortstop to wonder how many people were in?
No.
Tony Kubek base hit his last 2 trips. First up, last of the 7th. The Yankee fans have had their stretch session in the first game, and now they're getting seated again, last after the 7th. First game was 3-1 New York.
Estrada delivers, and Tony swings. There was a change off the fastball. 1-1. That field is practically straight away on Tony. The center fielder, Busby, a step or two over toward left. Kubek swings and misses with a high fastball. Strike 2. Speaking of Estrada having a tender arm, and Richards getting permission to go out and talk to him just now after apparently did something to the arm, and he was pitching to Richardson. 1-2 pitch, fastball high outside, ball 2. I guess that's about the most difficult decision to make about how do you an injury pitcher's arm. Sometimes the so-called tender arm, you let them pitch and they work it out. Then again, they might really hurt it. Which way do you go? 2-2 pitch, fastball high outside, ball 3. Out here a week ago last Sunday, Mantle had the bad leg, which he brought back from the coast. Muscle pulled down in the calf of his right leg. He could hardly walk, and Houck was hoping he could get Mickey to get through the first game. I don't think the manager had much hope he could play 2 on that leg. And suddenly in the second game, Mickey is running and even stealing. There's a fly ball hit to right center field, maybe trouble. It's in for a base hit. Robertson retrieves it, and it's the third straight hit for Kubek. Single to right center. So Tony has 3 of the Yankees' total of 8. And what Mantle did was, playing the Houck, is that he just kept playing, and he just simply worked the leg out, and it became sound, and he enjoyed running in the second game. Tony against Baltimore now has 9 for 16. That's a percentage of .563 against the Orioles. There's Hector Lopez bunting. And Kubek gets over to second on the sacrifice. The pitcher fields the ball to the second baseman covering. So a single leads off the inning. The sacrifice follows. 1-4 for the retirement of Lopez. And the Yankees lead 3-1. And now have Maris, who is 2 for 3. Let me repeat that again. As Kubek stands at second base, he's had 9 hits and 16 at-bats against the Orioles. Guess they're going to have to change the book on him. Maris, he's got his swing straightened out. Home runs in each of his last 4 games. Takes a full serve over for a strike. Roger has to have the ball examined, and Knapp says to Estrada, throw it into the catcher. And Maris must have seen something on it because Knapp immediately throws it out. You must have very sharp eyes to be a major league hitter. As the Yankees leading 3-1. That's so deep and very much around toward right on Maris. Swings on a curve and lines it foul down on the right field corner. Strike 2. Speaking about working out a sore muscle, Houck said that Fog Allen out at Kansas, of course, Houck is a Kansan, said that he used to believe in that very much in his college coaching. Boy had a bad leg. He said, playing. Two-strike pitch, swung on, grounded, fair, inside first base. It's the third hit for Maris. The ball's out in the right field corner. The run is in, Kubek, and Maris is on with a single. So Roger has got that swing straightened out. It is now 4-1 here to New York. Hit the ball just inside or just over first base. Rice, the umpire, was right down there to call it. Kubek scored. There's no way to stop him. 2 RBIs for Roger, 3 hits. Now we have Mantle at the plate.
Morris's RBIs are now 19. Home run 7. There's Mickey hitting above 300. Fastball though outside, ball 1. Outfield deep, very much put right on the switcher, who is batting left-handed. Swings as a ground foul outside first. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. A little commotion then. That foul ball bounced into the stands and right into the hands of a gentleman, and who got a round of applause from folks sitting around him. And he just got right up and took a full stage bow. Pitch outside, ball 2, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out, last of the 7. Pitch is swung on and missed. Fastball. Out around the hand. 2-2. The Yankees lead is now 4-1. Estrada deals high and inside. Good hard again. Ball 3. 3-2. Feature pitch, Morris goes, Mantle swinging, fouls it off. So, Houck had him going. Maris can run. You can't play run and hit with Mantle unless you have a man at first base who can run, because while Mickey's allowed to hit it out of the park, you're allowed not to touch it either, which is the mark of a fellow who hits for great distance. I don't think anybody will ever hit the total number of home runs that Ruth hit, and I don't think anybody will ever have the total strikeouts he had either. There goes Morris again, and it is high outside, ball 4. Base on balls to Mantle. Second time that Estrada has walked him. He's walked 3 all told. And here is Berra, who is 0 for 3. 2 fly balls to left. Ground ball to second. Estrada has not been able to pitch a complete game this year. His longest stint has been 7 innings. Yogi swings and grounds it to first baseman Gentile, who goes down to second to the shortstop. They get 1. Back to first in time to Gentile. Estrada was coming over the pitcher to cover, and at the last moment he realized that Gentile was back, and so the pitcher slid to put on the brakes. So they got the double play, which to me I think is the prettiest double play in baseball. That's the first baseman to the shortstop and back to the first baseman again. So it is 1 run for the Yankees on 2 hits. At the end of 7, totals are 4-9-0 for New York, 1-3-2 for Baltimore.
Stop at your Atlantic dealer soon for a clean new oil filter and a change to high detergent Atlantic Premium Motor Oil in the bright gold can to keep your car on the go. Moving now into the top of the 8th inning. We look around on the Atlantic scoreboard. At the end of 6, the White Sox beat the Red Sox 2-1. Washington and L.A. not yet underway. Cleveland and Minnesota just starting. First inning score, Cleveland 1, Minnesota nothing. Detroit and Kansas City have not yet begun. In the National League, the Phillies lead the Pirates 9-6. The game is now in the 6th inning. Cincinnati has a 6-3 lead over Milwaukee, playing in the 7th inning, and playing in the 6th inning, St. Louis and Chicago.
Number 15, Jack Reed.
Jack Reed is going to hit for
Number 22.
Reed has gone in to play left field for the Yankees. I beg your pardon. Dave Philly is pinch hitting and takes the first pitch in for ball one. He's hitting for Estrada as we go to the top of the 8th. Ford's next pitch is swung out and hit foul back up into the radio area and out again into the television area, I should say. One ball and one strike to count to Dave Philly.
One in the top of the 8th. Slow curve hit foul down the third base line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jack Reed in left, Mantle in center, and Maris in right for the Yankees. All right, Whitey into the windup. Fastball swung it and missed, strike 3. That's the second strikeout for Whitey in the ball game. Struck out Ron Hansen in the 4th inning. And it brings up Dick Williams, the leadoff hitter. Williams hit back to the box, single to right and bounced to short. Here's Whitey's first pitch to Williams. It's inside as Dick started to drop a bunt down third and had to pull back from the inside fastball. Williams is a fairly good bunter. Boyer moves in a couple of steps at third. The 1-0 pitch on the outside corner. Strike 1 call. 1-1. Baltimore, with 41 double plays, leads the American League in that department. The curve is hit down the right field foul line, and it's a home run for Dick Williams just inside the foul pole. In the right field corner as he hit an outside curveball. Just went with the pitch. Dick Williams slices a homer to the opposite field. That's only the 4th hit off Whitey. And it's now a 4-2 ball game in favor of the Yankees as Dick Williams comes up with his 3rd home run of the year. And it brings up Jim Busby, who hit back to the box, singled in the 3rd to drive in a run, and then bounced to the shortstop. Busby playing in place of Jackie Brandt, who was out with a bad hand. Pitch to Busby is popped in the air and back of the plate. Yogi is coming back, but the ball is on the screen. Can't reach it. 1 strike on Busby. Louis Arroyo has gotten up in the Yankee bullpen. That homer by Williams was the 3rd allowed by Whitey Ford this year. On deck, Brooks Robinson. 1 out and nobody on. Fastball hit in the right field, a base hit. Hard hit ball. Maris knocks it down, picks it up. Busby holds it first. Hit number 5 off Whitey, and it brings up Brooks Robinson. Now the tying run is at the plate. Yankees leading 4-2. Brooks Robinson is 0 for 3 today. Twice flying to right field, once bounced to the shortstop. Brooks came into the game sporting a .343 average. Skowron holds first against Busby. The pitch to Robinson, low, ball 1. On deck, Jim Gentile. Whitey sets. Curve is lined down the right field line, and Curve foul deep in the seat. Whitey threw a high outside curve that time, and Robinson went right with the pitch. Plenty far enough to have been a home run, but fouled by about 10 feet. 1-1 the count. Here's the stretch by Whitey. Fastball hit on the ground to short. Kubek over to Richardson for 1. Back to first. Double play. Nice double play started by Kubek, who had to go far to his right. For Baltimore in the top of the 8th. 1 run on the homer by Dick Williams. 2 base hits. No Yankee errors and nobody left. And the score at the end of 7.5 innings. The Yankees 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Baltimore 2 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors.
This time of year, you've probably been cleaning up the house and yard. But did you know that your car's engine needs spring cleaning too? After months of stop-and-go driving like this, your motor oil is saturated with dirt so that it can't lubricate your car properly. And the same dirt clogs your oil filter so that it can't give your engine real protection. Protection you'll need during the months of driving pleasure ahead. Yes, your engine needs spring cleaning. Now, before you start the warm weather driving season, see your Atlantic dealer and have him drain out the old dirt-saturated motor oil. He'll replace that clogged oil filter with a clean new one and refill with high detergent Atlantic Premium Motor Oil in the bright gold can. Stop at your Atlantic station soon for a new oil filter and a change to Atlantic Premium Motor Oil to keep your car on the go.
Dick Hyde, who was just picked up by the Orioles, I believe from Rochester in the International League. The Orioles picked up Hyde, who had a couple of real good years relieving for the Washington Senators. He's a submarine ball pitcher, comes underhand, almost like a softball pitcher. And to make room for Hyde, the Orioles gave Walter Dropo his unconditional release. Sure like to see Big Dropo tie on with some other team. Look at that Hyde throw that underhand. His knuckles almost touch the ground when he throws it. While Hyde's loosening up, we'll pause for station identification.
Thank you, Phil. We're in tune with Quality Modern Radio, 1460 on your dial. This is WOKO, Albany, New York.
Dick Hyde out on the mound. And he had a little trouble with his arm. That's why he was sent down to the minors. But evidently he's recovered. He's been pitching fine ball for Rochester. And he seems to be throwing lower than ever. And the fans are getting a big charge out of the way he delivers the ball. He is way down there. And he's tough on right-hand hitters. Not too difficult for left-handers because his curveball comes right into a left-hand hitter. The first batter that Hyde will be facing is Bill Skowron. The Moose is 0 for 2. Walk, popped to second, and struck out. Dave Philly goes out to right field for Baltimore. Skowron takes an underhand curve outside, ball 1. Earl Robinson has moved over to center field. The pitch to Skowron is a curve hit on the ground to the pitcher's box. Hyde up with it. Fires underhand to Gentile in time for the out. He threw that just like he throws the pitch to the plate. Came directly underhand. Gentile with that big stretch. Nips Skowron. 1 away. Brings up Clete Boyer. Clete bounced into a double play, reached on an error in the 4th inning and scored, and then double to left field in the 6th. It was Boyer's 2nd double of the year. 1 out, 4-2, the Yankees lead, bottom of the 8th. Boyer the batter, Bobby Richardson on deck. Clete walking out to pick up some of the paper that's flowing around in front of the plate. Strada pitched 7 innings. He allowed 9 base hits, walked 3, struck out 3, and allowed 4 runs. The pitch to Boyer is low outside, ball 1. I'll bet on occasions Hyde does scrape his knuckles on the ground when he delivers a pitch. He really gets way down there. 1-0 pitch, inside, ball 1. Clete lets out a big gasp. He started to step into that pitch and then had to duck back out of the way. 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch outside, ball 3. 3-0. Here's the windup. 3-0 pitch. Low, ball 4. Boyer walks. Brings up Bobby Richardson. Bobby's 0 for 3 today. Fly to center, hit to the box, and bounce to second. One away, Boyer at first. Pitch to Bobby is a strike. Richardson has started to bunt, pull the bat back. With Rochester, Hyde had worked a total of 17 in the 3rd inning, allowed 8 hits, 4 walks, 11 strikeouts, had no 1-loss record. Used in relief. Quick throw to first, and Boyer's back. Hyde's 5'11", 170 pounds, wears glasses. Here's his stretch. Pitch outside, ball 1. 1-1 to Richardson. With Washington in 1958, Hyde won 10 and lost 3. Had an earned run average of 1.75. That was his great year in the big league. The ball is hit on the ground, is short. Hanson to Adair for 1. Back to first. Double play. Man, they got it even though Boyer was right on top of Jerry Adair as Adair took the throw from Ron Hanson. The 42nd double play of the year for the Baltimore Orioles. For the Yankees, in the bottom of the 8th, no runs, no hits, no Oriole errors, nobody left. The score at the end of 8 full innings, the Yankees 4 and Baltimore 2.
Say, have your Atlantic dealer drain out dirty winter oil and replace your oil filter and refill the oil in the bright gold can. Atlantic Premium Motor Oil.
Scoreboard now. In the American League, Chicago 2 and the Red Sox 1 at the end of 7 full innings. Early Wynn going for his 289th win of his Major League career. DeLock started, Stallard in the 5th. Roy Seavers homered in the 2nd, and Jim Pagliarone in the 2nd for the Red Sox. Washington at L.A. has not started. And Detroit at Kansas City delayed because of rain, hasn't started yet. Cleveland leads Minnesota 6-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Hawkins for Cleveland. Ramos started, Gill in the 2nd, and Sadowski in the 2nd. In the National League, Pittsburgh has tied up the Phillies 9-9 after the Phillies scored 9 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. Labine against Short. Don Holcomb in the 6th with 2 on for Pittsburgh. Milwaukee at Cincinnati. The Reds are leading the Braves 6-3 at the end of 6.5. Spahn started, Raymond in the 7th, Jay for Cincinnati. Matthews homered in the 6th, and Robinson in the 5th. Cards 2 and the Cubs 2 at the end of 5.5. Miller against Cardwell. Well, this is the top of the 9th with the Yankees leading 4-2. Jim Gentile, who's 0 for 3 up there, takes a curve outside ball 1. Gentile lined to second and flied to center twice. Ground foul outside of first. 1-1. Whitey rubbing up the ball. One ball, one strike on Jim Gentile, leading off the top of the 9th. On deck is Gus Triandos. Slow curve is high inside, ball 2, 2-1. A foul ball at the plate, and the count's even at 2-2. Whitey swings into the windup. Side-on fastball, strike 3. He got him on a half swing. The ball was over the plate anyway. And Whitey chalks up his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. And he gets just about the most dangerous slugger right now in the American League. Brings up Gus Triandos, pops to second, single to left, and bounce to short. A base hit to left center field. Jack Reed coming over, up with it. Triandos holds at first base. Gus lines a single to left center. That's the 6th hit off Whitey Ford. It brings up Ron Hansen. Hansen bounced to third, struck out, and bounced to short. And we're going to have a runner for Gus Triandos. Marv Breeding, the second baseman, will run for Triandos. There's 1 out. The tying run is at the plate. Here's the stretch by Whitey. A line drive right at Kubek. To throw to first base. Not in time to get Breeding. Triandos hit that ball right. Rather, Hansen hit the ball right on the button at Tony Kubek. Tony's return throw to first base. Not in time to get Breeding. And here's Earl Robinson, who walked twice, scored once, and then popped to the shortstop. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. A line drive down the right field line, and it's fouled. Fouled by inches. Ball that would have been in there for at least a double. Two men are out. A 1-1 count on the right hand hitting Earl Robinson. Here's the stretch. A foul back in the upper deck out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Whitey's rubbing up the new ball, taking plenty of time out on the mound. There are 2 out here in the top of the 9th. Here's the stretch by Whitey. Fastball is high. Counts even 2-2. Here's the stretch. The pitch is low, ball 3, 3-2. A full count on Earl Robinson. Marv Breeding will be off with the pitch. Here's the stretch. The pitch is strike 3 swinging. Whitey struck him out. Struck out 2 men here in the 9th inning to win the ball game. The Yankees win the first game of the doubleheader, 4-2.
Well, we have the totals for you in just a moment. The Yankees 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 7 left. Baltimore 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, and they left 5. Winning pitcher for the Yankees is Whitey Ford, who becomes the first Yankee to go the distance since late in April when Art Ditmar performed the chore. Well, the Yankees got the combination of timely hitting and good pitching, and they reversed themselves over the last 4 ball games by beating the Orioles 4-2. Now we'll have the second game of the doubleheader coming up very shortly, and we hope that you'll be joining us in approximately 20 minutes or so when we'll be going with game number 2. Until then, this is Bob Delaney reminding you that it was all brought to you with the very best wishes of P. Ballantyne and Sons, brewers of the crisp refresher Ballantyne beer. Enjoy sunny, mellow Ballantyne beer along with baseball. And, of course, by the Atlantic Refining Company and your Atlantic dealer, who offer you Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor and keeps it clean. So, for 20 minutes or so, we'll return you to our studios. This is the Home of Champions Network.